From buying your first box of miniatures and paints to being a gentleman or lady on the gaming table, we have you covered.
We'd like to take a moment and thank our sponsors, Dragon Slayers, The Forge Hobbies and Games, and Rexer's Lasers, and the Patreons that support the channel, plus you for taking a moment to watch the channel. Hello, everybody, and welcome back for another. I guess this is going to be Boarding Patrol review. As we get started, I've been doing the Leviathan set, so the desk is a mess, and we're not going to be 100% all cleaned up and set up. But we are going to take a bit to get into this because I wanted to actually show the Boarding Patrol. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this, and I guess first off, if you're watching it, hit the like button, hit the sub button. If you hit any of them, hit the sub button. It's free, it didn't cost anything. We have our Patrons in the bottom corner. We greatly appreciate them because it allows us to keep going. And our sponsors over in the right. We're going to take and get going. This one is Grey Knights, and we're going to keep them short and sweet. So we've got Grey Knights on our Boarding Patrol, and you've got the rules. You can go back and watch the link. I'll try to figure out how to do it this time in the series, linking it so you can actually go back and click it. We've got Grey Knights, and here are the rules on how to put them together. When you muster your Boarding Patrol, you can have one of the following, and it lists all the characters there you can have: Brother Captain, a Brother Chaplain, a Brother Champion, a Brotherhood Chaplain, a Brotherhood Librarian, a Brotherhood Tech Marine, Castellan Crow, Grandmaster Voldus, and Drago. So you can have one of those, which is really neat the way they really specifically wrote these. And then two, you can have up to three of the following: Terminator Squad, a 5 or 10 man unit, and then Strike Squad, 5 or 10 man. And then you can have one of each of the following: an Scepter Squad, a 5 to 10, a Paladin, 5 to 10, Purifier, 5 to 10, and then your rules adaptation. Now, they're telling you out of all the lists, these are the things you can bring. So you notice there's none of the Dread Knights, none of the tanks, none of that, because this is Boarding Patrol. It is infantry based. It is in ship hull, so you can't really have those. And we'll quickly look. Let's see here if I can get this right. If you look at that, I'm not even going to the rules yet. You just look at that, and when you start looking at points, you can safely see a unit of Terminators is 225, and you only got 500 points. So I was doing some math, and I'll kind of get to where I'm going with it here in a minute. But they are expensive, and in Boarding Patrol, that's going to be kind of an issue from that standpoint. The other thing is when we look at this, you put your army together and you get your enhancements. So you select your warlord. Your warlord can't be a named character, doesn't get enhancements. One of the things that I wanted to show and kind of here is these are your enhancements you can get. You can't get anything from a codex or an index, and they don't say anything about going to the Boarding Patrol. So unless something changes, the way I understand it, you are limited back to just these enhancements, which is okay, because the positive is this one actually is very interesting. You can't use stratagems other than boarding action level stratagems and the following are available. So you've got your command reroll, your insane bravery, counter offensive, and the battlefield command, which is the leader ability, being able to put it in because you can't put your leaders together. You can go back and watch the other one. It'll go into detail on that. But you do have anything that are boarding actions labeled. So what I did is I went and grabbed my boarding action books, all 5 that have the series, and those stratagems actually have the boarding actions labeled. So you can still use the stratagems from those books for the army you're playing. So those Grey Knight stratagems are still viable for your army, plus these. And then that's that. And then we'll go to here to the rules. So the rules adaptation. So this is, I was putting together and I'm like, man, I really like the way they played on the big top. And I was like, these are the models I think I want to use. But it's so actually interesting. Every model I use playing a 2,000 point game, I won't use an actually Boarding Patrol because of points and because of some of the rule restrictions. So the rule restrictions are you treat it as a combat patrol for the purposes of their general rule of being able to remove a model at the end of the turn and the enemy turn and put it back on the table. So you'll be able to remove one unit, put it back. So that's really cool. The other one for the teleport assault rule. The other one is librarian model loses the Vortex of Doom ability. And then the Interceptor Squad unit loses the personal teleport ability. And Drago loses the Warp ability. And Strike Squad lose their Ritual ability. So basically, you can't do a lot of wounds, which is understandably when it comes to Boarding Patrol. You can't teleport extra units around, understandable. You can't deep strike in for the 6-inch charge because you can now have to be a true 9 inches out per the new rules. You can, again, go back and watch the boarding patrol or go over it. It's no longer closed doors and everything. It's a true 9 inches out. And then the strike squad uses their, if you're on an objective, you automatically hold it because they're really forcing you to have to do the, not the action, but you have to, if an eligible shoot, let's see what they're called. They're right. Nope, wrong thing. Hold on, sorry. All over the place here. Nope, that's not it. That's a. You can do. Actions are in the other one. It's the one where you can. Well, I'm not gonna be able to find it. I know it's here somewhere. But it's the one where you get to do something. You can take and set the overwipe, set to defend at the end of your movement. Tactical maneuvers. There they are. That's what they're called. Tactical maneuvers. Secure sight. So it is a battle line. So when you look at it, here, strike squad, and they won't be up yet. Strike squad can be a battle line. So even though you can't just automatically hold it, you can do the tactical maneuver to hold it. So that's kind of the changes. With it being so expensive, so I have looked at it, kind of did some points, and I'll be taking and doing a boarding patrol with the Grey Knight soon. And I'm going to run this list. So this is the list I feel comfortable in. If you do anything outside this list, what's going to happen is you're going to be limited to about 3 units. If you do a 10-man squad of any of the Terminators or so forth, you're going to be limited to about 2 units. So it's going to get fairly expensive. And that's if you don't bring a character, you could bring 3. You could bring 3 big squads. But if you want to maximize units and Border Patrol, because the missions are still the Border Patrol missions out of the book, you want to have at least 4 units to be able to play the game. So what I've done is I've put together, and so for my leader, I'll show you right here, we're going to have the champion because he's going to have the leader ability. Not really worried about that. I want to be able to have his leader ability. All of his still have that. And it's the, you can reroll the wounds from that, and you have the ability to fight first, I think, is the leader. Yes, the leader is the fight first, and you want to have that. Now, granted, you have to spend the CP, he's not going to be attached, but during your turn, if you're locked in combat, you don't have to necessarily fall back. You could stay in combat and go, they're going to have the fight first ability so they can actually hit. And then, let's see here. If you look at the points, so he is only... It's only 85. And so then I am all about taking and loading it up. So we're just going to scroll down here, and I apologize, folks. Should be right. Oops, there they are. Strike squads. Even though they lose the ability, you can take and still do the thing. And because you can load them out and have different guns, and then Border Patrol having some guns and some weapons, I recommend taking 3 units of the Strike Squad. So if you take 3 units of Strike Squad, that's 135 each for those, plus 85 of the character, puts you at 490. I think it's 495, 490. 490? I think it's 490. Yeah, I think so. 35. I think if my math was right. Oh my goodness. Well, we're going to do it right quick, right here on camera, because I always mess up. 135 times 3 plus 85. 490. Yep. All right, cool. I knew it was 490. So I say in Boarding Patrol, if you want to take and do that and you're doing the missions, I like taking the strike squads. I like the ability because they can change out some weapons to have some flamers. So 1 in 5 can have a flamer, so therefore you've got a flamer. And then you've also got your weapons there, so you could set to Overwatch. They do have a 2-up save in cover. They're going to be able to negate that -1 AP. You do have the stratagem still from the Boarding Patrol book. And then you've got the base stratagems there, and then you can give the enhancement, whichever one, the door one, or so forth, because the enhancements are a lot back to the book, which I'm not mad about because it was still fun playing it with those different enhancements being available. I mean, you have 6 enhancements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, and they're actually pretty cool. So you wouldn't able to take the personal teleport if you already have that ability. The expert breacher is really good, or the trademark weapon to be able to do that. Or I mean, the close combat killer, he already rerolls the wounds. So You don't need that. He already. It's almost like if you bring that brother champion, he's already got that built in. He already got the teleport. He's already got 2 enhancements free. You can take and choose a third one. So it's actually a pretty neat list. I haven't had a chance to use it. We'll use it soon going on stream. Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for boarding patrol for Grey Knights. 4 units. Should be able to play the missions really good. You're setting at 490. I probably will take the Breacher or trademark weapon, either having more damage and more strength, or expert Breacher, depending on what I'm thinking, so that I can actually open the doors and move through them. Still have the ability to bounce off the table. They still have the ability to auto advance 6. They won't have the fly keyword because you can't have the fly keyword, you lose it. But they can't auto advance to 6 because that is part of their teleport, strike, assault rules. So you'll be able to move around the boarding patrol pretty good with the Grey Knights. You don't have to worry about the deep strike ability to kind of bounce around depending on how long the hallways are. So yeah, look forward to getting them on the table. If you've made it this far, definitely hit the sub button. Those have greatly been coming through, really helping the channel grow. Again, if you want to do more, we do have the link for the Patreon. I'm more than happy to do it. I am working on making sure I'm giving some value there. I don't know. It's just really what do you want to do to help the channel? So we greatly appreciate those. Can't do it for more. They're always scrolling in every video that we've got going. And then just your time. If you've given us the time this far, it is greatly, as we said in the beginning, we thank you for the time, because time is a valuable asset you can never get back. And if you're giving up the time, it is greatly appreciated. With that, everyone have a wonderful day.